What's up, everybody? The Corked Up podcast is back again with another immediate reaction pod to what some may call football today after the Chicago Bears just got completely embarrassed by the Cleveland Browns. Um, I took a lot of notes this game. I'm going to save probably most of it for the actual podcast. My immediate reaction is, what more does ownership need to see from Matt Nagy to fire him? Like that's just legitimately my question. Mitch Trubisky made his first start. No, not Mitch. Nick Foles made his. No, Andy Dalton. Oh, it's really hard to tell what quarterback's in there because the offense looks the exact fucking same no matter who's there. And do you remember, Jack? And I'll throw it to you for some immediate stuff. But I literally told you after week 2 on this podcast, we have it on tape. I said, you know what? I'm not looking forward to seeing Justin Fields as much as I was when we drafted him because I think I know what it's going to look like. This offense hasn't looked different under any other quarterback, and it's not his fault. It's he has a half second to throw on some of these plays, and then when he doesn't have a half second to throw, the fucking 5-yard curl routes. Jack, if I see another 5-yard curl route, I'm gonna fucking break my TV. It's bad, dude. He has no idea what he's doing.
Let me clarify that statement just a little bit. If you see a 5-yard curl route down 20 points at the end of the game, yeah, at the beginning of the game, sure. Get some easy completions.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, Frank, I don't know where to start. I guess the best place to start is the offensive line. 9 sacks against what more? I mean, I just don't get it. They did not look this bad when Andy Dalton was in there. I really don't understand. I mean, the Browns' defensive line, you have to give them some credit. Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, they looked really
they're amazing.
Good.
They're amazing.
But Matt Nagy, I mean, and not just him. No one on the Bears today did anything to help out their rookie quarterback. None of the receivers, none of the tight ends, none of the running back. Like, literally, no one did anything to help out Justin Fields. I mean, they left him on an island to try and play against a really, really good defense. And this was a defense that we expected to see going into the season. Like, this is what the Browns were supposed to look like, right? And it's just unfortunate because we can't even say that it was Justin Fields looking like a rookie. Right? Like, that's not what I saw. I didn't see. There are a couple throws, sure. But there was nothing that was going on where I was like, man, he looks like a rookie right there. Like, he did everything he possibly could have to just buy himself, a couple seconds to fucking throw the ball? I mean, what the fuck was going on? No screens. Matt Nagy is, I tweeted it out. I know you saw it. He's the worst play caller in the NFL. And there's not even a close second right now.
No, there's not. It's look around at the other 31 teams in this league that have quarterbacks. What quarterback can do anything with what just happened today? And this has been our biggest point when people say, oh man, the Bears really missed on Pat Mahomes. How do you pick Mitch over? What would Pat, and Pat is the best quarterback in the league right now, I think, and he has been since his first year starting. What could he do in this offense? Because to your point, the offensive line was atrocious, but what made it worse was the play calling. Matt Nagy didn't have Justin Fields roll out one time. Well, I think it was literally just one time. He did nothing to, I mean, there was a comment by Greg Olsen at the end of the game when Myles Garrett got his 15th sack, and he said we spoke to Myles Garrett before the game. Myles Garrett said, "I don't think I've ever been chipped as much in my career than I was last week." And then Greg Olsen said, "I don't think Chicago's chipped him once today."
No, No, I mean,
we didn't put a tight end over there. Jimmy Graham is making $15 million to sit on the fucking sideline. You can't put him in there to chip Myles Garrett.
I think I saw him. I think I saw number 80 in there. I think I saw number 80 in there
twice.
Yeah, once or twice. Yeah.
You couldn't put David Montgomery over there to chip Myles Garrett once?
No.
He got 5 sacks today. So this is my point though. The conservative play calling allows for them to not have to blitz, even though they did blitz well today. But you don't have to. But the second thing is now both levels move up as well. You're only going to call 5-yard curl routes. Our safeties are playing linebacker now too. And then now our defensive ends, who are 2 of the best in the league, just pin their ears back. You know, this is the thing. You know an offense is bad when they can't score points, right? We can agree on that.
I mean, that's
just generally right.
Quality, yeah.
But this is the thing. You know an offense is completely incompetent when you can't get garbage time yards. I mean, do you remember the second year of Trestman when like Cutler and Bennett and all those guys were like fantasy viable because we were down 20 and they just started fucking slinging the ball? They were at least still competent. We can't move the ball when we're down when the game is over.
I thought that was disrespectful on the Browns' part to just leave those pass rushers in. It's like, come on, man, like cut us a little break here.
But this is the thing. Even if they play prevent defense, we're gonna nickel and dime it the whole way down and then kick a field goal. Like, well, there's no level of aggression with this offense. It's awful. But and this was really my only other thought immediately. This front seven looks so good. The secondary is so questionable, but it's not just because of them. We're seeing Sean Desai adapt to the talent that he has, the stunts that he's running, he's lining up Robert Quinn and Khalil Mack on the same side and blitzing Roquan. Like, he is doing some high level technician shit in his 3rd game as the defensive coordinator. He's never called plays before this season, and he's adjusting to what he has and being creative and being aggressive. Matt Nagy has been calling plays for his 4th season now, and he has yet to adapt to anything that he has. And this is why I told you when you said, I can't remember exactly what you said a few podcasts ago. You said something, and my retort was, I think you're giving him too much credit because I think he's incompetent. In order to, I can't remember what the sentence was you said, but I said in order for him to be that, he would have to know what he was doing. Matt Nagy does not know what he's doing.
Yeah. I mean, I still don't know what the scheme is supposed to. Like, everyone gets pissed that he's not just running an off. I don't know if he knows what his scheme is either. And yeah, I mean, the secondary of this Bears team is by far their biggest weakness. Like, they just cannot make tackles. I mean, how many times did Kareem Hunt get hit in the backfield, break off it, and then just keep going and no one touches him? Like, and Frank, this is the same Bears team we've seen our entire lives. A defense that plays really well in the first half because they, keeps them in the game because they have to, and then they just get worn out by the second half because what was it in the first drive out of the into the second half, 3 and out in what, 30 seconds?
Can I tell a story about that really quick?
Absolutely.
Every Sunday I do laundry. I have to go downstairs to do laundry. And, other games are going on Red Zone. And I was like, oh shit, I got it. Let me go put the load in really quick.
Yeah.
Before the Bears game comes back. So I go downstairs and I put the load in and I come back and there's 14 and a half minutes left in the 3rd quarter and it's 4th and 8. I was like, well, how could I have possibly missed our first drive?
You didn't miss anything. That's how you missed it. That's my point. I mean, that just like, it's like stuff like that. Like we can't sustain. How many first downs did we have today? We had like 6. There was one where I literally yelled to the computer. I just said, "Can someone make a play? Just do something." And then he hits that pass to Allen Robinson, and he kind of runs up for a little bit, and it felt like a touchdown because you're like,
yeah,
they finally did something.
That one was an 8-yard curl route. That's what was the difference.
That was by far the most frustrating thing, where it was just like nothing was working, no one was doing anything. We didn't see anything that we saw last week with Justin Fields. Where, I mean, did we? What was the deepest pass he had today? What was the deepest ball that he threw?
I don't know if he threw the ball past the sticks one time. But we said the same thing about Andy Dalton 2 weeks ago. But I'm not blaming that on them. When you look at the all 22. I saw the all 22 from week 1 and week 2, and I'm going to watch again in week 3. Matt Nagy is not drawing up plays downfield. No one is running downfield routes.
Yeah, and they just don't have. I mean, even if they tried to, they don't have the time.
Yeah,
they don't have the time for that type of play, because the offensive line, Jason Peters is whiffing on guys. Jermaine Ifedi is whiffing on guys. But like, that's the thing, man. Like Nagy, I mean, I just don't. Normally, I don't like rely too much on or give too much thought to people on Twitter being like, oh, well, they should be doing this. But when literally an entire group of people and NFL analysts as well are literally saying, move the pocket, move the pocket, move the pocket, and he just won't. That tells me that's incompetence more than
he has no idea what he's doing. I
don't even think it's like a thing where he's like being just like, no, I'm doing it like stubborn. Like, I don't think he's stubborn. I just don't think he knows. I don't think he knows what he's doing.
No, I
does
said
he know
this
he can
3
chip
weeks ago.
block?
I don't think he understands basic offensive concepts. And I told you, I don't know if this was on the podcast or we were on the phone. It all started to make sense to me mid 2019. That was when I found out he only called 4 games for the Chiefs. I was like, because we were under the impression that like he was the architect of that offense. Yeah. And all of a sudden it comes out, oh no, he was just, and he actually blew the game that they lost to the Patriots in the divisional round or the champion, whatever round that was that year. And it's like, oh, okay, this makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
I have see these are our 3 points. So you brought up Jason Peters. And I get it. He's a veteran. He's one of the best left tackles to ever play the game throughout his entire career. He's old now. And the broadcast tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. There was a third down when we were down 20-36, like 3rd and 8. And Myles Garrett just literally runs past him. Jason Peters didn't look his way. And Greg Olsen goes, oh, man, they've been drawing up these stunts all game, and it's work. And then they showed the replay, and there was literally no stunt. It was a 4-man rush, and they all just moved forward. And I'm like, our left tackle doesn't understand that he needs to block one of the best defensive ends in the league who already has like 4 sacks on your quarterback.
Yeah, and this will be I just want to forget about this game until Tuesday when we talk a little bit more, because this is when we'll get into it a little bit more. I definitely want to hear what Matt Nagy has to say about this game, because it's just going to be a whole bunch of nothing. He's just going to say stuff to say stuff. He won't have an answer, and he'll just keep it secret as always. But I mean, this isn't just on Matt Nagy. This is on Ryan Pace as well, for just ignoring the offensive tackle positions and just hoping that guys can just be plugged in, like just not understanding how valuable they are, trading up for guys left and right when you can't be giving away capital. Like, what more do people need to see before they start losing their jobs, right? Like this. Yeah, this team is not going to go anywhere with this current roster, right? Yeah. It's just not going to happen.
I mean, it's embarrassing that John Gruden, who was out of the league for 15 years, I don't even think I'm exaggerating. Wasn't it like 15 years or 10 years? Yeah. He was out of the league for a very long time.
Yeah.
He comes in and immediately makes the Las Vegas and the Oakland Raiders. He was a coach, obviously, when they were in both locations. Top 10 offenses every single year. And we're not, it's like, again, and this is just an immediate reaction, so we're not going to, we're not even watchable, bro. Like, who wants to watch? Like, people are waiting for the 3:00 game and in some of these fantasy chats, and they're like legitimately concerned for me. Like, are you okay? Like, how can you watch this every week? Like, this is this is the first Bears game they had. They sat and watched because they're waiting for their team to play at 3, and they're like, I would rather watch like fishing on FSN. Like, this is terrible. They're not watchable.
No.
And again, it's like if we hired, a defensive guy who was like, we're going to fucking run the ball and we're going to bite kneecaps, and like you would expect some ugly football every now and then. We got sold on an offensive genius who has right now the 31st passing offense in the league.
who kicks a field goal on 4th and 2 when they're down.
Jack, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was really happy we kicked that field goal. After that, because the one play we failed to bring up was that fucking pitch out of a shotgun. We were gonna see something like that again on 4th and 2.
A toss out of the shot. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
You can't even make that up.
Frank, I don't think you can call that in Madden. I don't think that's a play. I think that's a play you can a toss to the outside out of a shotgun. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. So this is my last point. The Bears have such a bad offense that the Browns refuse to take points.
Yeah.
On 4th down. I mean, that to me shows a lack of respect. Like, this offense isn't even respectable. That I'm just going to keep going for it on 4th down because what do I have to fear on the other end?
Not? Yeah.
Awful.
That's it, Frank. I can't talk about this anymore.
I can't either.
We'll get to it on Tuesday.
It's bad.
Yeah.
I haven't felt like breaking something in a very long time before today.
Yeah.
Jesus, man. All right, y'all. Definitely appreciate you guys tuning in. Full-length episode coming Wednesday morning or afternoon, in that range, where we'll sort of break down what very few positives that there were, obviously the ton of negatives, and then break down what was going on around the league. Thanks for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. This will only be on YouTube. We're everywhere else for the full-length pod, but this one just YouTube, so subscribe there. Get the notifications and everything. Jackie, I appreciate you, man. Have a good rest of your day. Let's enjoy some good football.
I need something. All right, Frankie. I'll talk to you later.